When you're alone and life is making you lonely, you can't always go
downtown.
When you've got worries, all the noise and the hurry seems to help, I know.
Downtown.
Just listen to the music of the traffic in
6'9" outside here.
on the sidewalk where the neon signs
Oh, rejected by Parker.
How can you lose?
Pops the shot. Nothing but net.
You can't forget all your troubles.
Coast to coast by the American.
So go
Downtown.
Things will be great when you're
downtown.
No final place for sure.
Downtown.
Everything's waiting for you.
Downtown, 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 downtown.
This is Downtown on breakinplay.ie. I'm Timmy McCarthy and my guest today is Conor Mortimer. So Conor, was GA always the sport in your life?
Well, it was, I suppose, mixed with soccer when I was younger. You know, I was more like most people. A lot of soccer, a lot of football growing up. Preferred soccer. I suppose all the way through my career I preferred soccer. I prefer watching it, going to it. Obviously not playing it now because I don't play it as frequently as I would have played it, you know. But I always had more of a kind of a, I don't know, a love for it, I suppose, or whatever, growing up.
And talk to me, in Mayo you played soccer, underage?
No, well, my club, you see, we're on the border, so the club I played at Riverside Celtic would have been playing in the Galway leagues.
Right, okay.
So then, more or less, you play Riverside Celtic, and the best 11 are picked out of that was for the Galway town team. So we played the Kennedy Cup. It's a big.
Yeah, I know the Kennedy Cup. Yeah.
We were playing that with them.
I played that many years ago, Conor. Slightly before your
time.
time.
Yeah, Jesus. Then I played in Merview for a couple of years. It kind of would have been a higher standard.
Yeah, I know Merview.
Played with them for a few years then. And I was coming to probably 17, 18 then, and I was kind of just starting to break into the Mayo under 16 and minor then. And sure, when you're playing minor, it just takes up all your time, and that's so I kind of had to veer off from the soccer, I suppose, really.
And tell me, you were a goalkeeper?
Yeah, playing goals, yeah, when I was younger, yeah.
All your career in soccer?
More or less, yeah, pretty much. Dabbled outfield a few times as well, but sure, I think everyone thinks they can play outfield and score goals, like, you know what I mean. And I suppose I played a bit outfield, you know, not with any team in particular, you know. Five-a-sides and stuff with a few of my mates and stuff like that, but I played with a local team here, Kilmore last year, played goal again, so just kind of. And scored a goal actually from the goal.
Really?
Yeah, last year, yeah. Lee came up there in Kilmore, yeah. So back pass and just banged it straight in the box over the other fellow.
Were you any keeper?
I was alright, yeah. I had a couple under 14, I think it was, caps with Ireland. There were friendlies we played. I had a few trials and stuff when I was younger. Nothing really major, really, but I had a very, I suppose, keen fondness for it at the time, you know. It was all I did really. I watched more soccer than I watched Gaelic at the time. My only inkling into Gaelic was with my brothers, really.
Right.
You know what I mean? And obviously play out the club and stuff when you're younger, but I suppose you don't take it as serious really when you're, I suppose, 14, 15, 16 years of age, when you're just enjoying it.
You don't strike me as being tall enough to be a goalkeeper at the highest level.
No, a lot of people would say that, yeah. I do a spring. I think all the small keepers say.
Yeah. Still doesn't help to know when you have a taller guy coming in against you, you know?
A lot of goals would have been kind of, not over my head, but we say the top hand corners, the goals, whatever, but you know, from the Gaelic background I would have been good at, I suppose, reading the game, coming for crosses, kick outs, shot stopping. I'd be good at, I suppose, a lot of things when I played goal. Like it's now I'd be okay. I don't practice obviously in goals, right. But you know, you're out there and off the cuff all the time.
Yeah.
Really, you know what I mean? So you're never going to be, I suppose, as good as you could be as a keeper, but sure, you know, I'm over 30 now as well. I'm not going to come back training either, you know.
And tell me, so obviously family was GA was the big thing for the family.
Yeah, all my family really played, from my parents down, all my brothers. It was just what you did in the area. I lived in Shrewell. It was the border of Galway and Mayo, so you're kind of in the middle of all, you know, what's going on and what's not. And at that time, 98, Galway won All Ireland 98. I was a young lad. I would have been in Tuam at that time. I had family in Tuam. My mum was from Tuam.
Right.
So would have been in there that night.
Who was mum showing from?
Not Galway anyway.
Really?
No.
Okay.
Not really. She would be Mayo. Because Kenneth had played
yeah.
previously in two All Irelands, the 6 and 7, and Galway came around 98 and won it.
That was heartbreaking, wasn't it, for Mayo?
Yeah, it was sticky at the time, you know, because I suppose we kind of threw it away in '96, effectively in the first game, you know.
Yeah, you should have beat Meath.
Yeah, the game was over really, you know, just a couple of silly errors across the field. '97 we were favourites to beat Kerry, and then just imploded and they didn't turn up at all on that day. I'm sure. Yeah, it's kind of left a bit of a stamp really, because you know you've seen probably the last 4 or 5 All-Irelands in the meantime, and it's been the same stuff.
Yeah.
It's kind of, if you'd won one of those, you know, you could have won 4 or 5 in the last 10 years. You know, you don't know it's hindsight stuff really.
Because I remember the '89 final. You were a youngster,
Yeah.
but it's because a buddy of mine, Liam McHale, was playing obviously, and he had Cork on the racks that day. Like,
Yeah.
Infinity had a great chance
They blew it.
to set the game, you know, away from Cork,
Yeah.
and he blew it.
Yeah.
And he actually blew it, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like, he had to score. I don't. A goal obviously was the right thing, but if the worst thing
It was a
opponent-
bad miss.
Yeah.
And I think it's been talked about, and it's you know, I think a lot of people, me for one, obviously I have missed chances in games where you looked at as a player yourself, and I'm sure Finno's the same. You'd always look for other excuses in the game, you know, first 5 minutes, the last 5 minutes. But what it boils down to is that those chances, there are 3 points there. You get 3, you have to get 4 to come back and get ahead of that. You know, I don't know. I think we're a couple of points ahead when he had that chance even as well. You know, to push it out another bit, and you know, just missed the chance, and that's the game was gone. Then you know.
So '98, so obviously was a big moment in the sense of
Yeah.
of the Mayo situation. When did you play minor?
99, 2000.
Okay.
Yeah, played minor in '99. Played in the compromise rules team in '99. Was let go early in the year off the panel in '99 for just a bit of a grievance with a coach. Kind of started early for me.
Is there a trend that we're going to get to in those? No.
No, not really. It wasn't anything. It was just a disagreement, really. Manager player stuff again. It's just the usual jazz that goes on again. Came back then in 2000 and played for the year. We got beaten down in the final that year by Cork, actually. That was the start really for, I suppose, losing All-Irelands. We lost a few in the meantime, but that was the start for the minor, in 2000. You know, it wasn't. They had a couple of players playing. Conor Mortimer was playing for them. I don't think he's played an awful lot in the last probably 10 years, and he was outstanding the day we played. One for the future kind of thing, you know what I mean?
That tends to happen though, doesn't it? You look at minors and you watch them with Croke Park in particular, or on final day, and you say, this guy will be great, and 2 years later they're gone, you know?
With some. I think players that go on and play for whatever 10 years with their senior team don't get enough credit from going from minor to senior, because those 3 or 4 years there's so much other stuff you can be doing. Like your friends are doing stuff, you might be actually getting a few quid then, and you can do the same stuff as go on holiday or go wherever they're going, or whatever, you know what I mean? But you know, a lot of people fall away as well. That's the flip side of it really.
And when did you come into the senior panel?
Came in the senior panel in 2000, the end of 2001.
Who was in charge?
Pat Holmes.
Pat Holmes, right.
New manager, the recent manager.
Yeah.
Came in 01.
You're young then, right?
My first championship game was 02.
Okay, so you're young, you know, you're impressionable, and you've now made it. You're a Mayo senior and county player.
Yeah, it was. I had been training probably 2 years previous to that with them.
Right.
Making up numbers and stuff like that, you know what I mean? But as that period went on, I was like, you know, doing well in training and stuff like that, you know what I mean? So one thing, well, I should be playing here, not making up numbers and training and stuff like that, you know what I mean? But I came in 2002 then, and I played first year of 2002.
Right.
First league championship, I was top scorer that year. I was probably top scorer for 95% of the years that I would have played throughout, you know what I mean? Obviously I was checking free and stuff like that as well, and life was good, I suppose, really.
Yeah. Scoring is something I'm always fascinated about with sports people, because some people love scoring.
Yeah.
And an awful lot of people don't, you know. It's actually interesting when you watch people, like, you always struck me watching, like, you wanted to score, you wanted the ball, you wanted the last shot.
Yeah, I think the elation really. I think some players' jobs when they play as in a midfielder, catch the ball, lay it off and stuff like that, obviously that's their satisfaction, you know what I mean? Mine as a forward, obviously get the ball, take on a man, once it goes over the bar, you have satisfaction. I don't think in that middle third there's the disappointment element, you know what I mean?
Okay.
If you're a forward, you kick a wide, you're disappointed.
Yeah.
If you're a midfielder, you fuck up a hand pass, you know, you're not going to be beating yourself up about it. Do you know what I mean?
But there's a difference though, Conor.
Oh, there is.
As a forward, there were forwards like you who want to score and who will take the chance and will have, will take the shot and take the decision. There are other forwards who are playing forward.
And they'll be smart.
And they'll say, that's a bit risky for me now, and I'll be safe and give it to somebody else.
They'll be the better team players. They'll be known as better team players.
I don't say better team players though.
They look to pass, you see. They look to pass the ball off and stuff like that. And they'll kick their averages. The average score. If it's a 50-50 score, it won't be shot. But if it's a 70-30 shot, it'll be shot at.
But there are also the players though, if you think about it, take the 70-30 shot. There are also players though, if you're winning, they'll take.
Yeah, well, that's true.
They'll take the 40-60 shot in that case.
That's true. Yeah. I don't think the players don't get credit for that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You shoot now and you miss. You're bollocks or whatever. Whereas I think with different players that have different personas on people and on media and stuff like that, well, he had the shot. Fair play to him, he stood up, had the shot. Different people, it's different for some people than it is for other people in relation to those having been talked about when you take that option, whatever you decide to take, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think though, as a coach in other sports, I've always said to players you must take the shot. If the shot comes your way, you must take it.
Yeah.
So I feel that players like you who always wanted a shot.
Yeah.
You need players like that. You need somebody.
And you have to shoot.
Because you can't win unless you put the ball over the bar into the net, ultimately in any sport.
You have all the tactics now and all the different ways of playing and stuff like that, but inevitably, whoever puts the ball over the bar more wins the game. That's still the skill that's still in the game, that has to be still in the game, is you're kicking and shooting or whatever. And it's more prominent now because there's so many more defences now, blanket defences and stuff, so you have to be shooting from distance, whereas a lot of players might be 20, 30, 35 yards good, 40, 45 is more difficult, you know what I mean? People say it doesn't suit players, blah blah blah, but practice, you kick a ball over the bar 45 yards if you're playing senior football for anything, or you'll get that distance. It's just the accuracy that people need to get is obviously more practice required, you know what I mean? It's not it doesn't matter the size. If you're playing senior football, you're not weak or whatever, you know what I mean? You wouldn't be playing otherwise.
Yeah.
You can see the way the game is now. But no, it was always something I enjoyed, still do to today.
Going back to 2002, so you're on the Mayo team.
Yeah.
What was the difference that, for you you played, as you said, in the squad, training, filling numbers, but when you actually make your debut, you're actually in the championship. What step up was it from the, I suppose?
On the field,
on the field,
it was okay. It wasn't. It didn't seem to be, that big at the time. You know what I mean? Because I think the process back then was more, you arrive at the game an hour beforehand. An hour and a half, you get a cup of tea and then you go in and play. Whereas now you're meeting 3 hours beforehand, talking about the game, you're looking at a video or you're having a lunch or blah blah blah, whatever you're doing. It wasn't like that when I started. It was just in, out, play and away. Go out and have a few pints or whatever people were doing, you know what I mean, going off doing their own thing. So you didn't have as much time to think about it. You got up later, you had your breakfast later, you did everything that suited, I suppose, you really as a player.
it was very different, wasn't it? It was more true amateurism, I suppose, and that you were.
Yeah, it was more old school.
Yeah.
It's professional now, to a degree.
Yeah, I think to a degree though. I think it's
not so much. I don't buy into what people say in relation. It's all professional, this, that, and the other. Like at the end of the day, the players get nothing. That's the bottom line. Players get zip.
But you're involved in strength and conditioning at this stage, okay? I mean, we talk about professionalism, and I'll go back to your playing career, but just pick up professionalism in GA. They train harder now than they trained when you came onto the scene. Okay?
Physically, not.
But in time-wise,
absolutely.
Right. But are they really professional? Because my idea of professionals are, in sports where rugby players in this country or soccer players in England or in other countries, they train and they rest. They train and they rest. They do all the other things. They train and they go to work. Yeah. Here they train and they do what amateurs do, except they train harder. Yeah. So are they really professional from your point of view?
I think the misconception for people, professionalism as in, you're training so much. Dedication is not professionalism.
I accept that.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
Like dedication to train, and you're training 5 days a week, and you're going to the gym 3 other days, and you're doing whatever, you're working, and you're great. But that's dedication to play. That's commitment to play. That's, as you say, in relation to professionalism. professional players obviously train,
And
and
rest.
it's a lot more rest than train.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? That's because they have the day to do that, because they obviously get paid to do it.
Yeah.
That's the big difference, and that won't change. That can change in GA, and it won't.
But there is this misconception of, as you said, about professionalism, because it is dedication. Guys do more.
It's time. It takes
put
up
more
your
time in it.
It
Yeah.
takes up your time and dedication, and if you can commit to it, fine. If you
Yeah.
can't, then you can't. So you don't look at you any differently. You know what I mean? If Colin Cooper goes tomorrow and says, I can't commit myself to that, someone out there in Kerry will go to Colin Cooper and say, well, why not? Can we look after him whatever way we can?
Yeah.
Whereas some guy from Carlow might go to, oh, I can't commit. Well, Grant, get someone else come in, you know what I mean? That's the way it is, that's the reality.
That's the haves and haves not, though, Conor. That's the reality of most sports in that sense.
In professionalism, like, you have, the only difference you have is bigger contracts. One guy get whatever, another guy won't get as much, because he's on a fly half or whatever he is in rugby, you know what I mean? And that's part of it. But it is changing a little bit. I mean, the marketing stuff is coming around a bit now. You see a lot of sports, professional sports people have good marketing people.
Yeah.
They can sell them to businesses or whatever. They might be the best player, but they still might be making a good living. Like, you know what I mean? And I think it's coming in the GA a little bit now. There's a lot more marketing now, where you have there is some players agencies, some players have marketing people around them. They wouldn't necessarily charge the player, but if the player gets a gig, they'll get a cut out of the gig. Do you understand what I'm saying?
And that makes sense.
Fair management, absolutely.
Tell me, would you have liked to be in a fully professional GA?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Train every day. You just live that life, yeah, absolutely.
How much better would you be?
As a player, you'd have to be better, yeah, because you're training every single day. You know what I mean? How good a player is, or how good a player was, or how good a player could be, it's how long is a bloody straw? You know what I mean? It's who knows? You know what I mean? As I say, practice makes better in all sports.
Yeah.
But in particular in GA, because I've always found, some weeks you might practice, you might be as sharp at the end of the week. You know what I mean? Then when you practice hard, you're a lot sharper at the weekend and stuff like that. But I mean, ideally everyone would love to play professionally. It's not, it'd be a great life, really.
Yeah. You were a student for a fair time in your senior career, so you were almost professional without being paid in that sense.
Actually, I was. In fairness, now it worked out well for me. Just on that point in relation to professionalism, I don't think players would make enough by just playing professional in Gaelic football.
Yeah, because the size of our country is.
You're not going to get a contract that'll do it for 10 years and you'll live off that for your life. I don't think that'll happen. I don't think it could happen, because there's not enough money going into it.
That's a fair point.
You know what I mean? And I think even if it was professional, I don't think GA they'd let off a certain amount, but not enough to sustain living or whatever for whatever the time,
The problem that the GA would have in that sense is that they obviously have 32 counties, so you've got to make sure you cater for the Kerrys and the Carlows, as you talked about.
And that's why it'd be difficult.
And it's very difficult, It's
how much you want to give Kerry, how much you want to give Carlow.
How much you give Dublin? If you take Dublin in the current world, there's a lot of debate about
Dublin on their own. And let them worry about it.
They
have enough money, they're alright.
They seem to have plenty of money in that sense,
But what was I saying there? I lost track there.
They were talking about professionalism and just the value of money in that sense.
Yeah, so, will it change? I don't think so, to be honest.
Talk to me, 2 All-Ireland finals, 2 defeats.
Yeah.
Crushing?
Tough, yeah. Tough to take.
Would it be equally as tough?
Second one was tougher. First one was unknown, really.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was more hope than anything else, really, 6, like.
Right.
The closer you got to the game. Kerry is a serious side then. Like.
Yeah.
A huge team like 6, you know what I mean? Or 04, sorry, 06. We after beating Dublin, we expected to do well, obviously it didn't work out, but yeah, it's tough to take. But I'm not one of those to dwell really. Just back and pitch the following week or 2 weeks and get at it again and just get back to what you're doing and just forget about it. You can, there's no point. The minute whistle goes, you can be harsh on yourself and beat yourself up, but nah, there's no
it's
point.
over, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's done. Like you get back next year again and see, have another crack at it or whatever. You need to have that belief, and I think Mayo people have that belief, and the support as well, because they keep going back.
Yeah.
Year in, year out. Not winning them, but You know, it's like anything, if you keep banging on the door long enough, the bread thing will open.
Well, it's the law of averages, you know, if you get there often enough. But it's interesting though, you know, when you take, you know, 2004, that it's your first time you're a youngster at that stage in the sense, 2 years in the senior panel, you know.
The buzz was good, the buzz
must be great.
Yeah, the buzz was good to be involved.
Does the buzz finish if you lose quickly? Do you know, I
always look over the minute the game's over.
If you lose?
Yeah. You're more embarrassed for enjoying it as much as you did in the build up to it. Right. It's gone. And very people are laughing at you, you know, you're doing interviews, you're doing this, you're doing that, or whatever you're doing, you know what I mean? You need a thick skin.
The post-match banquet then with all the family who came up, I expected
to win. 04 was fine. I didn't go to the one in 06, I don't think. Went into town instead. It's a bit more relaxing. But yeah, they're tough. After a few beers, though, everyone is laid back as well. And, you know, you're just, if you compare, I suppose, you could say the Kerry Hotel and our hotel, if you're there thinking what they're doing after 3 or 4 points after winning, to having 3 or 4 points after losing, you belong to them there thinking.
I mean, I've been there, Conor, in my own sporting career. Like, it's completely different. When you win, you know, the world is fantastic. When you lose, you know,
it's tough.
You're awful, and everybody else is, you know, off in the boat, you know.
Yeah.
Were you good enough to win either of them, do you think?
06 probably. 06 we probably were, but then I think as the game went on, we had so many underperformances. I watched the video there in relation to that book the last probably 2 months. I watched that game 3 or 4 times, and our error count must have been 70, 80 in a game, where nowadays an error count for a team is probably 20, 25. We were bordering 70 errors throughout the team for passes and giveaways and turnovers and frightening stuff to watch. After that, no, I didn't learn from it, to be honest. You look at the video now. Offhand, without looking at it, sure. It's our finals, 2 teams, 50-50, blah, blah, blah. But looking at the error count now, we were miles off in 06. Miles off. Wow. Jeez. I know we came back into it, got a couple of goals and stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, with an error count like that, no, you're not going to win any game. You know?
Yeah, and is that psychological or physical? Because an error count of that magnitude seems enormous, like, in a game.
Some players that you wouldn't think mentally, I'd say physically. Okay. And the physical players you wouldn't expect to probably mentally let themselves down a little bit, you know what I mean? But, you know, the pressure Kerry put on us was high as well. It was high intensity, you know what I mean? They were well up for it now, they smell blood, you know, that's the kind of team they are, and in our final they know what to do, like, when they win this. And
it's interesting, they come into the All-Ireland final with expectations of winning it, you know. My expectation at the moment of Mayo is that you come in hoping to win, which is a slightly different expectation.
Oh, absolutely. 06, 04 we definitely were hoping.
Right.
06 we expected to do okay. We had the belief to win it going into the game for probably after the Dublin game.
Right.
Because it was a big win for us, you know.
Yeah.
I've said it numerous times over the years. You know, we did well to beat Dublin. Like, I mean, Dublin would have been should have been so disappointed in themselves. Like,
to lose
7 points up, like, but whatever, to go and us to come back and beat them, and that's the reality. You know, people say it was a brilliant performance, and it was good. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, Dublin didn't help themselves either. You know. If they played well and we played well and bet them by the point at the end, it would have been the best match ever in Croke Park. But obviously, that wasn't the case in the game itself. You know what I mean? They fell asleep after they got the second goal. I think it was Mayo got a second goal, and they kind of died down a bit then. And even Vaughan had a chance at the end when Clark got it above the sticks. So,
yeah.
You know, hindsight.
Yeah. And tell me, you're the all-time record scorer, which I think is an amazing achievement. I must say, right? Okay, for now, yeah, because records have to be broken in that sense, you know. I'm fascinated though. I didn't actually realise that it was within the same period you became the all-time scorer and left the panel. Now that's, you know, I mean, emotions of the highest order. First of all, let's talk about this. I think it was against Dublin. Was it in National League game? Castlebar. I was going to say left-footed, but you took most of your scores with your left foot on you. So.
Yeah. No, I suppose it was there at the time. You know, that evening, and again against Dublin, I enjoyed playing because I had a lot of friends playing for Dublin and in Dublin as well. You know, I suppose that evening it was, what was in it? We won the game, I think, well enough in the end. It was sticky enough going through, you know. And I think I was selfish in the game, really, if I'm honest. I mean, we had a couple of goal chances there in the game, and I was just popping them over the bar. You know what I mean? I had one thing to do, and I was going to do it at some stage in
in that season.
Game or the game after,
Right.
one of the two. Because it was becoming more clear. You know,
But the fact you're selfishly, that's actually what separates scorers though from
oh, absolutely, yeah, you have to be. I think it's important.
So the record was important at that stage, obviously.
Well, that day, yeah.
That day, yeah.
Coming into it, yeah, I mean, it's there. Like. Now, it wouldn't have been a big thing to me, the record, you know what I mean? Papers made a bit about it, but, you know...
Which surely it has to be.
You don't get any credit for it, really, effectively. You know, people
Well, I find that amazing. I genuinely do. Like you've done something that very few people have done like in the history of Mayo GA, right? Okay, and you've done something in an incredibly difficult environment, and I just think it's
yeah, that's the way it was really. Not mentioned in the paper or two here and there, but I mean, nothing major really. You know what I mean? I'd have talked about it more myself after to my own mates and stuff like that, but I mean, it's not. It's great to have it. I mean, no one has, I suppose, scored more than me. I suppose, really.
What you scoring today?
What did I score that day? No, it was 7 or 8 points, I think.
Right.
Even, yeah. It was good even. It was a good day,
Family proud?
I'd say so. Never mentioned it really. It wasn't something we talked about, but yeah, I'd imagine they were. I think that season was expected, because it was within distance really, you know what I mean? I think it was 20-25 points at the start of the league, you know what I mean?
Right.
You were looking to be scoring 30-35 points in the league anyway. It was kind of funny actually, got the record that night and I didn't play the following week against Kerry, then he put me on the bench the following weekend, you know what I mean? So.
That's an interesting one. Talk to me, were you at the peak of your career at that point in time, or had you gone beyond your peak, or had you come to your peak? Looking back at it, it's all hindsight obviously.
I was kind of mid-rift, I'd say, really. I was playing well, I was enjoying it, really, you know what I mean?
Right.
I think I probably could have improved because there would have been more variety of footballers around me then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The teams, all the way up through, there would have been a lot of, physically strong, less skilled, where now it's more skilled, less physical, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe physical, but not as physical as boys previously, you know what I mean? Which I think would have improved. I would have improved as part of it as well, but unfortunately that didn't come to.
So he dropped you the week after?
Yeah. I'm on the bench the week after, yeah.
And in the sense of managers, do managers say, here's the reason why?
No.
Just
Pick a team, away you go. Away you go, yeah. I had a pain in my arse even going to Kerry, to be honest.
Yeah, so now you're in a situation where you're, with respect, after breaking the all-time record in Mayo, feeling that on one Sunday night you're a great guy, and then the following week you're driving to Kerry, you're on the bus going to Kerry, you're saying, what am I doing here?
It's easy for some people will say, it's the manager's prerogative, or to bring you back down to earth, or whatever, just kind of shy. But it's Gaelic football. It's the middle of fucking March. It's a National League game. You know what I mean? Things are going well, and if you're not feeling the mutual. What's the word? I would say love or affection. I wouldn't even say affection. It's just say I say respect really, effectively. You know what I mean? If it was just a tryout of the players, fine, no problem. I have no issue with that. You know what I mean? That wasn't said to me, so I don't know.
And was that the first sort of indication you got that?
I had a few indicators kind of previously when I first met them after I was injured, or before when they took over the management team and stuff like that. It was an okay conversation. It wasn't. It was more of a what's the word? Kind of a warning shot when you're coming back. You have to work to get in the team and stuff like that. Those he mentioned players ahead of me, and that I wouldn't have ever worried about really, if I'm honest.
Right.
That's just it's common knowledge really. It's not.
But that's okay though, because we all have views of where we should fit in the team from that point of view,
Yeah.
But tell me, you were living in Dublin at the time, were you?
Yeah.
So you were commuting obviously to the west, right?
Yeah. There's 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Jamie O'Shea, Killian O'Connor, they commute up and down as well.
Okay.
Like Chris Barr, Kenny O'Malley. There's 5 at least, 6. You know what I mean? So it wasn't a big issue for me. For them, maybe, I don't know. I've never really asked. I don't tend to either.
And tell me, so after the Kerry game, what was the next?
Kerry then.
High or low for you?
No, I played away then after that, and played the league final. Didn't play that well. Cork beat us in Dublin. They beat us by a couple of points or whatever. Probably should have beat them. Didn't. grand.
It was a good Cork team, the Cork.
Yeah,
that's
good
Cork,
side, yeah.
I mean, as a Corkman, we'd feel that Cork team should have won more than one All Ireland in that
They
period.
should have, yeah.
I know we won 3 national leagues, but it's
No, they had a good side.
Yeah.
They had a good side, yeah. They deserved to beat us, obviously. We'd always think we should have beaten them, but obviously, look, that's priority for me all. But I think just going on then into the championship and stuff like that. The training was fine, and you get the vibe of training and stuff where you're not. It's not your. You're not feeling the buzz around the place, whatever like that. You know what I mean? And just all accumulated then, really. I wasn't going to waste my time anymore. That's it. Pull plant.
I have to say, on the outside, when I heard of it, I was shocked. From a sporting point of view, I said, like, here's a guy who's a scorer. That's why I judged you as, you need scoring forwards to win our Irelands, right? Okay. And Mayo don't have a lot of scoring forwards. Who can you've also proven.
I think it's prominent now more so than back then. Whereas with myself, McDonald played regularly. You've Killian now.
Yeah.
You need at least 3 top forwards.
You do, but you need, but Mayo needed, with respect, Conor, maybe 1 or 2 more, because they haven't won. They haven't won. Like, I mean, you look at Dublin today, or you look at Kerry. Like, Kerry don't have like 6 top forwards, like, okay? But they get away with it because they've a couple of really classy ones.
Yeah.
I would have put you in that kind of classy forward line, and so you quit, and then all of a sudden, like, to say, now when you quit, because I'm fascinated about this, like, decision to quit. Did you decide you were never going to play again, or was it just I'm just quitting right now at the moment? Or what was your in your mind?
No, it was just the I suppose the initial reaction was, I never retired effectively. I think that's the bottom line. Really, I've never retired from Mayo as such. You know what I mean? I left at that time or whatever.
So Pat Holmes might get you back yet.
He'll have to read the book first and decide then after that. But I don't know. I wouldn't think so, if I'm honest. It's not for me to decide.
That's his call, obviously, in essence. And yours then separately.
Absolutely. But yeah, it was just I never really foresee at the time I'd never play again for Mayo. You know what I mean? That didn't cross my mind really. It was at that time.
You said you stopped
Right then and there, like, you know what I mean?
Did they approach you?
No.
Did anybody?
A mediator did, yeah. A mediator did.
But the mediator, with respect, can't decide whether you're going to play or not.
No, he just had a chat with me and stuff like that, and by the end of the chat I said, yeah, I'll meet Horan or whatever. I was kind of swinging the way then to have a chat with him and see what happens, but he obviously went back to him and he just said, no, tough shit. So I didn't hear a word after that, to be honest. That was it. Yeah.
So a mediator comes to meet you.
Yeah.
Ask you.
Off his own bat, I'd say.
Yeah.
But he is the liaison officer in Mayo.
Yeah, so
and I met him in the Shelburne in town there. We did fucking dinner and a glass of wine and chat. And because I'd known him all well for years, he was travelling down from Mayo with him. He was driving the bus and that,
So he asked you, look, let's, we need you and all this type of stuff.
Trying
to soften you out a bit.
Solve the situation effectively. And I went in adamant I wasn't going back. And I came out and I said I'd meet him. Tempted to go again and see where it took. But that was it. I never heard after that. I had texted him a couple of weeks later actually saying, what's the story? He was still working on it. That was it. So I never heard anything after that. Yeah. That was that.
That's hard. I mean, you've got a word to say, look.
Yeah, I might have made a mistake at the time. I don't feel I made a mistake for what I did. But I suppose not being able to play football again, that's the mistake I would have made. You know what I mean? Not for the reasons I did or what I didn't do. It's the fact that I wasn't playing or couldn't play again, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because, sometimes we all make decisions and, they're the right decisions at that point in time.
Yeah.
But the consequence of your decision was enormous.
Yeah.
In the county sense, though, from that point of view.
Yeah, it changes things, really. You're kind of you're out of something you've been in for the best part of 15 years, really. From 15, under 15, 16, 17, minor, 21, senior.
But you're out of something, Conor, that you were like a really top performer. Like, you weren't, with respect now, like somebody that could slip away. Like, you were somebody who had scored against the big guns, and repeatedly your scoring record is unequal in Mayo, and in fairness would stand up in most counties, let's be fair now, right? So and it's all just gone, like.
Yeah, just like that.
Your family took it hard. I remember.
They did. They kind of, I'd say harder than me, to be honest.
Right.
At the time. It wasn't the easiest thing. I suppose they would have seen me coming home every evening and just been, you know, hey, what team you playing on today? Like, you playing the B team or whatever team you're doing it on, you know what I mean? You're not enjoying it really. And I know everyone doesn't get to play, like, but I mean, if you're putting in the work and you're getting the 50-50 back from the management, then fine, but when you're not, what's the point? And I still say it to the day, like if I had it out here at my club or with any team I played with, even in work, if you're not, if things aren't 50-50, what's the point?
All you want is a fair crack.
Absolutely. That's the way it was, and I said it for weeks. Like I played a trial game the week before the first championship game, I don't know, I scored 8 or 9 points. And sitting on the bench the following week. And the guy that played scored a point in the trial game. You know what I mean? Yeah, it was
So for me, I suppose trying to understand, what were you not doing that didn't get you?
I don't know.
That opportunity.
Because I was scoring.
Right, which is what you're supposed to do.
I wasn't, what was I doing? I don't really know, to be honest.
You wouldn't be the guy now, the best guy to track back. That wouldn't have been part of your forte.
But I mean,
I'm not saying it should have been, but that wasn't part
when
of
he
your
took
forte.
over, I had started track back because
Right.
that was his mantra, to work hard, which is fine. Work hard is no problem. You wouldn't be on a county panel if you don't work hard, you know what I mean? So I don't really know, to be honest. You know, maybe he'll do a book or something and say it himself. I don't know.
And then they went on, obviously, and they, you know,
Yeah.
people have different views. You know, did they succeed or did they fail? But they never won ultimately in that sense, right? Okay.
No.
Do you look back now and say, you know, if it had worked out differently, and who knows? I mean, Conor's hindsight. You know that, you know, and you had played in, you know, that you might have helped him get over the line.
I'd have liked to thought I would have helped in some way. Would it have happened? Who knows? I don't really know. As I said, the same players when I first met them that I would have never had an issue with in relation to having more quality or adding more to the team, we're still playing. Do it that way.
Yeah.
So I can't really add any more to it in that regard. I still had the same thought I had today I met him. He mentioned these players, and like I never said to myself, oh well, they won't win Northern Ireland, like, or whatever like that. You know what I mean?
But you felt it if you in your mind.
Not that they wouldn't win All Ireland, but I felt I could add. You know
But did you feel though that these guys, on their own, you know, couldn't win it? But you know, if these guys and guys like you together could win it, because you
But
want
me on the team and them not possibly.
because that's what comes down to.
Not, you know, at that time, because we're a lot better now than we would have been previously.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like you have Dillon now going well, or Killian O'Connor, the likes of these guys, you know, who are stepping up now.
Yeah.
Whereas before we didn't have that. Do you know what
No,
I mean?
because you always had, like, I mean, I know you have your shares in centre field, but you always had good midfielders in there for a long
Big and
time.
strong.
Big, strong guys, you know, and you
Big,
have that. But I mean, you do have, you know, you're like, you've more forwards now that are capable.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
adding to this, you know.
Yeah.
So,
Like, I don't feel that I'm, how would you say it, I'd be missed as such, you know what I mean? I generally don't, because we have forwards. Now saying that, you can always help as being part of a team. Another guy that can score obviously can help the 2 guys or 3 guys that are there that can score already. Like why not have 6 scoring forwards as opposed to having 1 and 5 workers? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, and but if I was a coach and I said to you back then, okay, look, I don't believe you're going to do enough work for me over 70 minutes.
Yeah.
That's not what you're going to do. But I'm going to want guys to work, okay?
Yeah.
But I want you to stay involved, and you know, you will play. You may not start now, but you will play, and
Yeah.
you'll add to this team. Would you
Yeah.
bought that type of
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just about that you were starting or not. You wanted to feel that you could contribute at some stage to it.
If I was showing more respect, really, I suppose. Really, that was
Yeah.
you know what I mean. But look, managers don't need to show respect to players. Manager's job is to manage a team to make that team successful, and that's it. Doesn't matter. And as I said in my book, I don't have a personal grievance. Do you know what I mean? If the manager didn't fancy a player, and that's it. You know what I mean?
And he has to live or die by that decision, obviously, in that sense, okay?
Absolutely.
And you know, and it's and you have to live or die by your decision.
Yeah.
I just think that the I suppose the sad outcome here though is that, you know, the game lost, you know, one of its talented forwards at a point in time, where Mayo were coming into one of the better spells in that era. And
it's been a good time for Mayo, really. I don't buy into that it's the best team they've ever had, or the best management setup they've ever had, or that kind of stuff. you know, for me, they're the same as previous managers. Mahan, Mickey Moore and Morrison, both in Ireland finals. John O'Mahony, who's won All-Irelands with Galway and stuff like that. No different, if you ask me. You know, it's the side that thinks these are the apostles and stuff like that. I mean, we played Donegal in the All-Ireland final who didn't play well, and the Bellis. We played Dublin, it was the worst game of the year in the Bellis, in the 2 All-Ireland finals previously. I mean, Kerry in the semi-final last year, you know, and their decisions that came from the management and the sideline, and you know, it's just there to be seen. People need to see it. I don't need to say it.
No. And this year again, it was another. You know,
that's what I mean. Semi-final, 5 points up, 5 minutes to go, and didn't win the game. You know, you can only blame yourselves in your own circle. That's effectively it. You know what I mean? You can't blame pitches. You can't blame officials in Croke Park for putting a game in another place.
No, I have to say from the outside now, that looked to make no sense. The fact that, like, it's a game. You play the game. You play the pitch. You know, and with respect, if you can't get your fans there, you can't get your fans there. You know, Manchester City are playing today in Moscow in front of a closed stadium.
No,
they won't care.
Make sense.
You know, they won't care. You know, you just want to win the game. You know.
But you know, that's where we're at now in that situation, and life goes on. You know, that's effectively the way it is. You can't dwell on the past. I suppose really you'd be a bitter, kind of a weak person if you were to kind of dwell on stuff like that. At the end of the day, like, it's like being in a job. Like, I didn't get sacked, I left.
Yeah, and you left on your terms. I mean, I think, as you said earlier,
I have no issue with it. You know? I was at ease with what I did. Obviously, you missed playing a few games and stuff like that, but I mean, look, in hindsight, you know, I'm still here anyway, I'm still alive, I'm alright.
Tell me, looking back in your career, what's the best moment for you? The moment you kind of said, you know, like, yeah, I'm really glad I'm doing this.
Best time I've had, I suppose, was Galway, Castlebar, 2006 Conor final. Just kicked the last score. It was the best day I've had with Mayo, I think. Best moment, I think, really. That moment I bought over the bar was just because it was Galway.
Yeah.
And it was Castlebar.
Your neighbours on the board.
Yeah, it was a good moment. It was a tough kick as well, you know. It was right in the sideline on the 13-yard line, so. But I mean, as I said, looking back now, it was tough. But at the time, it wasn't tough because I'd been doing it 3 nights a week on a fucking football pitch.
Yeah.
Just practicing every night a week. And before that particular game, the night before, I was on that pitch over and back those 2 lines the night before the game. So it just came. Yeah, I did this the night before. Like, just bang, kick it over the bar and away you go. You know. They did miss a free after that, but I mean, that's where it ended. So that was the.
Yeah, I know that it's you've practiced it, but you still have the bottle to do it. Like, I mean,
well, you want to shoot anyway. I mean, if you miss, I've missed like previously.
Yeah.
I missed it in my debut. I missed a free that people blame me for literally losing the game with 12 minutes to go. You know,
don't have to go to lose the game.
Obviously finished about 12 minutes, but yeah, I mean that's hindsight. That's sport, really. I suppose, you know what I mean. You're. It's great to be in that position to have a crack at it. You know what I mean.
If you had it all over again, what would you do? The same things?
Yeah, probably would. Yeah, I probably would have went to college a little bit earlier, I'd say.
Right.
I went to college a little bit late. That was the only. I didn't mind. You know, I would have liked to have went to 18, 19. I'd say if I did, I probably would still play on my own out, to be honest. Because I'd been working then.
Yeah.
I was in Dublin because I had to start work up here, you see.
Right.
At 29, literally.
Okay.
So I was away from home. Then I had to leave the club, and you know, it was just a kind of a chain of events then that led to, I suppose, where I am today, really. But you know, I'm happy now. Working away here. Club has been good to me. That's pretty much it, really.
And tell me, you're in Parnell, so obviously we're talking sitting here. Difference with club football in Dublin and Mayo?
Far higher in Dublin.
Far higher.
Yeah, league games in Dublin and a championship in Mayo, really. You know what I mean? You're tightly marked in every game. If you don't start well in Dublin, you get hammered in every league game. That's just the way it works. They don't give you a chance to breathe. It's just a lot better. And I think the standard of surfaces up here as well, they're all hard. You can play ball all the time. Like,
right.
You know, some pitches I've played in Mayo, like the big bogs and drags the game down and slows it up. There's no excuse up here. It's all boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, because when you bog pitches it negate skill, like it really means that, like, you know, the quick guys in there, you know, get negated in that sense. Where up here, as you're saying,
it's all ball,
dry surface, fast ball.
It's all football up here, and all pretty high octane, high intensity, physical and good. I have to say, no, it'll be high. There's no doubt about that. It's more intensity. There's more spread of teams up here as well. You have 5 or 6 teams up here. You have probably 2, 3 in Mayo. You know what I mean?
Why didn't you transfer?
No work. I know working on for him.
No, but transfer to Dublin. Why didn't you transfer?
Why did I transfer to play out
Why,
Dublin?
yeah, to play
Nah,
Dublin.
no, I'm from Mayo. I'm Mayo man, born and bred, so they're my team. And
That was an option for you, though, wasn't it? The fact
I
that-
could have played, yeah, but
Yeah.
I have no interest in it. No interest at all. And I don't think, to be honest, Dublin need any more forwards. Look at it that way, they have enough. And the 4 or 5 at the bench coming off it as well. They were grand when I moved. They'll be grand for another 5 years too.
Your book is coming out next week.
Yeah.
Really best of luck with it.
Thank you very
Looking
much.
forward to reading it, and it's been a
Thank you.
pleasure chatting to you.
You too. Thanks very much. Nice to meet you.
Everything's waiting for you.
Don't.